Hello Tamaraos, I hope everyone is doing well. I am Gino Garcia, one of the 10 Outstanding Faculty of the Year and E-Faculty Awardee.
Hi everyone, my name is Mary Joy Yu from the Department of Language and Literature, and I was one of the 10 most outstanding faculty for school year 2018 and 2019.
As a teacher, I believe that learning is the responsibility of both the educator and the students. Being dynamic in class means allowing myself to learn from my students as well. I have always valued their insights, not only when we're discussing course lessons, but also when I am crafting classroom policies. Understanding where they're coming from is an essential element in the whole learning process.
So, I introduced Kapihan sessions in my class. These sessions are mini breaks throughout the semester that are meant for students to take a break from their usual lessons and focus on concepts that they may find difficult to understand.
It's when students learn as a result of their own efforts, in gaining knowledge, in achieving the ability to think critically, or simply in observing, in reflecting with the teacher as their guide.
Students are asked to write down concepts that they struggle with, and I work with them during the sessions to help them understand and process any questions that they may have. These sessions are meant to be fun, full of laughter, and most importantly, judgment-free.
Dynamic learning takes place in an environment that promotes collaboration, creativity, and innovative thinking. This interactive laboratory is an example of a dynamic learning environment.
It is a space for students to learn at their own pace, with the teacher's help, and a way for me to assess my own teaching practices and adjust to the students' needs.
With the help of learning management systems like Canvas and other educational tools, we teachers do what we do best. We adapt, we teach, we facilitate, we nurture, and we support our students to become the best versions of themselves.
Welcome to FEU.
For you, we are creating spaces.
For you, we are creating spaces.
Hi Tams, how are you doing? I hope you are doing safe and fine. Did you know that all FEU faculty are proficient in the two flagship technology systems of FEU, the Microsoft Office and of course, Canvas. We have done extensive training on this and other programs so that teaching and learning are easier and more responsive. We are also well versed in the principles of online learning that makes teaching and learning more relevant. Welcome to FEU. For you, we are creating spaces.
Here in FEU, we stand for future-ready learning. For continued education, not just for our students, but also for ourselves. Because by learning more about our students, we learn how to be better educators. For educational innovations. Because better, more responsive teaching techniques that put emphasis on learning instead of just passing. Help our students be better prepared for the future. For turning knowledge into wisdom, not just accumulating it, so we can fulfill the potential of every student to be a future leader, and not just an achiever. We are FEU, and we stand for a future-ready generation. We stand for future-ready learning.
Good afternoon, everyone. I proudly welcome you all to our webinar entitled Physical Education Key Standards and Assessments in the Department of Education. Physical education is definitely one of the most essential subjects that every student must take. PE leads us and our students to develop a lifelong healthy lifestyle and maintain holistic wellness. Senator Tia Cayetano in 2019 argued that physical well-being is something that we cannot simply set aside, especially in this time of COVID-19. We need to keep promoting physical education and regular exercise among our children. DepEd Order number 034 series of 2019 said that physical fitness is crucial for the well-being and active life and that it is one of the goals of the physical education program. The K-12 PE curriculum guide stated that the standard learning area is that the learner demonstrates understanding of the concept of physical fitness and physical activity in achieving, sustaining, and promoting an active life for fitness and health. In order to measure if our students are reaching this standard, we need to understand the different key stage standards prescribed by the Department of Education. This webinar will tackle the different key standards that are essential in teaching physical education and appropriate assessments to effectively measure their learning progress. Before we proceed, may I request everyone to click the link pinned at the comment section or go to menti.com and enter the code 6207467 and answer the survey for the discussion. Before we proceed, here are some announcements. Evaluation link will be posted at the YouTube Live comment section near the end of the program. Evaluation link will be open until 4:30 p.m. only today, April 28. Carefully check the spelling of your name as it will appear in your certificate. Please be informed that the name that will appear in your certificate is auto-generated from what you have entered in the link. The organizer will not replace certificates with wrong spelling of name. Also, double-check your email address as it will be used in sending your certificate. As of now, here are the results in menti.com. 48 of our audience are public school teachers, while 19 of our audience are private school teachers. The most number of our audience is our students with 56 currently here in our event. To introduce our speaker, may I now call on Mr. Drazevic B. Angkos.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us to today's webinar. Before I introduce our speaker, I would like to remind you all that your questions can be posted in the comment section and it will be entertained after the discussion of the speakers during Q&A. I am so excited to introduce to all of you our guest speaker for today. The discussion she will provide will help us gain further knowledge and comprehension about the physical education, key standards and assessments in the Department of Education. Our guest speaker is an accomplished woman. She finished her baccalaureate degree, taking up bachelor in secondary education, major in physical education in Far Eastern University, Manila in the year 2010. She finished her master's degree in physical education thesis program in Far Eastern University, Manila in the year 2013 and graduated with distinction. She finished her doctor in educational management in Polytechnic University of the Philippines in the year 2019. She also produced notable research publications such as Contemporary Issues in Education, a compendium, and Mental Toughness and Sports Competition Anxiety of Far Eastern University Athletes and Cheer Dancers. Our guest speaker for today is also a member of the Philippine Table Tennis Federation, as well as the National Council for Physical Educators of the Philippines Incorporated, the Asia Pacific Consortium of Researchers and Educators Incorporated, the World Council for Curriculum and Instruction, and the Network of Evaluation and Multidisciplinary Professionals for Research, Extension, and Development Incorporated. She is a four-time UAAP table tennis champion from season 70 to 73, a Pasay Division table tennis champion coach in the year 2016 to 2019, a Palarong NCR official in table tennis in the year 2016 to 2018, a Pasay Division table tennis assistant tournament manager in the year 2016 to 2019, and the most valuable player in the Intergovernment Agency Festival of Sports in 2018 and 2019 as a member of Team Department of Education. She is currently a Master Teacher 2 employed in Pasay City West High School, Pasay Division, a Grade 11 Coordinator, and the Senior High School Physical Education Coordinator, Pasay Division. Let us give a virtual round of applause to Dr. Joanna Marie Carina M. Gabonilas.
Okay na po, ma'am. Let's start.
Good afternoon to each and everyone. In this session, I will be presenting to you the physical education key standards and assessment of Department of Education. And here are the topics to be discussed. The first one is we have overview of PE basic education curriculum and the newest DepEd sports manual. Second, the key stages and its standards. The third one is we have overview of DepEd assessments, DepEd order number 47, series of 2016, DepEd order number 34, series of 2019, DepEd order number 8, series of 2008, and DepEd order number 31, series of 2020. Before I will start with the discussion for today, I know this picture that I am presenting right now will have more explanation kasi ito yung mga bata before, okay, during 90s or I think 80s. Ako kasi 90s eh. So ito yung mga laro nila before. And then now for the millennials and the Generation Z, ito na yung mga laro, more on gadget, more on laptop, especially ngayon nasa pandemic tayo. Okay, so ano ang connection nito in terms of all the topics that I'm going to present. Okay, malalaman po natin mamaya. And right after that one, of course, kung nasa bahay lang tayo parate, having our laptops and gadget, kahit before pandemic pa, ang palagi talagang mga activities ng mga bata is more on laptop, gadget, computer games, etc. And that's why kakaroon tayo ng sedentary lifestyle, no? So, according to Medical News Today of 2019, sedentary lifestyle linked to a range of chronic health condition. And according to the government 2008 physical activity guidelines for American trusted source, adults should be getting at least 150 minutes of moderate intensity physical activity each week. So, ngayon magtatanong na tayo, nakakaabot ba tayo ng 150 minutes of moderate intensity physical activity each week? Ayan, yan yung mga tanong na siguro natin na parang maybe some of you, since mas marami dito, lahat naman tayo siguro is more on physical education teachers and sports coaches and undergrad students, baka may mga tanong umaabot, especially ngayon sa kalagitnaan tayo ng pandemic. And according to the World Health Organization, mortality risk, the boys will live on average of 69.8 years, and the girls naman, we have 74.2 years, a difference of 4.4 years. And for the life expectancy, for men and women combined, average life expectancy from 66.5 years in 2000 to 72 years in 2016. So medyo may it is way back 2016 ha. So meron na siyang there's something wrong. Bakit umiikli yung life expectancy ng mga tao? Okay, bakit kaya? So for the top 3 common unhealthy lifestyle behavior of people that leads to early death, this is before pandemic, no? We have lack of physical exercise. These are the top 3 common unhealthy lifestyle. Number 1, lack of physical exercise. Number 2, we have frequent sitting. Sino kaya yung mga ganito? And of course, the improper nutrition. Okay. So again, please be reminded, at the end of the day, your health is your responsibility. So yun yung talagang parating dapat nakatatak sa utak natin. At the end of the day, kung ano yung pinaka-main na responsibilidad natin is our health. Kasi pag nagkasakit man tayo, in terms of finances, tayo rin na makakaramdam yan eh. Hindi naman makakaramdam yung family natin, hindi naman makakaramdam yung asawa, mga anak natin, tayo ang nakakaramdam ng pain. So, responsibilidad natin na maging okay. Okay. So, for the Philippine Constitution, Article 14, Education, Science, and Technology, Arts, Culture, and Sports, Section 19, Paragraph 1, the state shall promote physical education and encourage sports program, league, competition, and amateur sports, including training of international competition to foster self-discipline, teamwork, and excellence for the development of a healthy and alert citizenry. And paragraph number 2, all educational institutions shall undertake regular sports activities throughout the country in cooperation with athletic clubs and other sectors. Ito yung sagot kung bakit lahat ng school dito sa Pilipinas, lahat ng eskwelahan dito sa Pilipinas ay merong mga sports meet at hindi mawawala yung sports sa school since nakatatak siya sa Philippine Constitution. Okay. And then, baba tayo, pagdating ng K-12 implementation, nagkaroon tayo ng Enhanced Basic Education Act of 2013 or Republic Act 10533. Okay. So, in this Republic Act, it is an act enhancing the Philippine basic education system by strengthening its curriculum and increasing the number of years for basic education, appropriating funds, therefore, and for other purposes. Ibig sabihin, ito yung batas kung saan nagpa-implement sila ng K-12 curriculum. Ito yung nakaangkla na batas. And sa batas na to, for paragraph B, broaden the goal of high education for college preparation, vocational and technical career opportunities, as well as creative arts, sports, and entrepreneur employment in rapidly changing, increasingly globalized environment. So, take note ha, meron pa rin binabanggit na sports. Kaya tayong mga sportsmen, andyan pa rin yan, hindi tayo mawawala at hindi pa rin po tayo mawawala sa mga eskwelahan. And under this Republic Act 10533, dito na po lumabas yung K-12 curriculum guide ng physical education. That is actually from grade 1 to grade 12. Parang grade 10 lang ata ang nakalagay dyan. Okay. So connectedly, K-12 program of the Philippine education system directs physical education to promote the total development of the school-aged child. Physical education is one of the 4 components in subject MAPE. Significantly, K-12 PE curriculum develop the students' skills assessing, synthesizing, and evaluating information and making decision in terms of fitness. So, ibig sabihin, nagkaroon na tayo ng paradigm shift na tinatawag. Kung before, ang curriculum ng PE is the main goal is to choose good athlete para sumali for the sports meet and etc. Dito, the target of physical education in the K-12 curriculum is turuan si bata na maging fit, maging healthy, to live life longer and to enjoy life. Actually, itong subject natin na PE, ito yung pinaka essential na subject na meron tayo during this pandemic kasi dito tinuturo kung paano maging healthy mentally, physically, at gaano kaimportante ang maging healthy. Ano ba yung mga benepisyo ng pagiging healthy? Although given na siya, pero sometimes meron din talagang mga katulad ng bihira tayong matulog ng maaga, bihira tayong uminom ng 8 glasses a day. So may mga nakakaligtaan tayo na eventually someday babalik sa atin 'yan. Ang importante po kasi is maging healthy po tayo. So, K-12 curriculum is a standard base. Actually, lahat naman ng K-12 lahat naman, kahit hindi PE, standard-based na lahat ng K-12 curriculum. Okay, so the idea behind standard-based curriculum is to set clear standard for what we want student to learn and to use those academic standards to drive other changes in the system and for lifelong learning and living. So nagkaroon na tayo ng standard and we have the key standard or key stages. We have the grade 1 to grade 3, grade 4 to grade 6, high school and senior high school. So, saan bang mga key stages sila belong? Okay. So, tingnan po natin. We have the first key stage, the key stage 1. The learners demonstrate the understanding of movement, concept, and skills and preparation for active participation in various physical activity. That is key stage 1 directly for kinder to grade 3. Kumbaga, bumuo tayo ng standard kung ano ang kailangan i-achieve ng mga bata in terms of physical education under kinder to grade 3. Okay. And of course, I just want to emphasize the latest in DepEd Sports, the DepEd Sports Manual. As far as I know, it was just released and oriented by the manual in the currently event or the international event. Actually, we have Mr. Cesar Abalon, Chief of School Sports Division, and Ma'am Marvic Tulitol. Sila po yung nag-initiate for this one. Most probably, ilalabas pa lang ito kasi more on orientation pa lang kasi ang meron sa amin sa DepEd. And then I'm looking forward for this manual to be successful kasi every event merong DepEd Sports Manual. Okay, ang alam ko nag-orient na kami, ongoing ang orientation namin, every event siya, na-assign ako sa table tennis. So i-share ko lang din sa inyo in terms of the DepEd Sports Manual na ang key stage 1 for the DepEd Sports Club standard is the first one is we have the fundamental stage. Kumbaga, pinantayan lang niya kung ano ang key standard ng curriculum. Since this DepEd Sports Club Manual, okay, is a supplementary of the physical education subject in DepEd. Kumbaga, kulang kasi yung 150 minutes na moderate intensity na dapat meron ang bata or adult. So, nagkaroon ito ng supplementary. Well, in terms of the guidelines of the DepEd Sports Manual, paano siya i-implement sa bawat school, alam ko ilalabas ito or nailabas na. Currently, meron lang region by region na orientation for this one. Okay, so for the key stage 1, ang description dito, since nasa kinder to grade 1, kinder to grade 3, it is more on fundamental stage. From the word fun, naglalaro lang talaga ang bata dito. And then for the standard, execute the fundamental movement and motor skills. Basta makagalaw lang yung bata. Well, anyway, kung kayo ay elementary teacher na nakikinig sa akin now, alam ko na naiintindihan ninyo in terms of handling children from kinder to grade 3 kasi naging kinder at grade 1 teacher din ako before. For the key stage 2 in the DepEd curriculum, we have grade 4 to grade 6. The learners demonstrate the understanding of principle of movement and fitness for active participation in various physical activities. So ito na, nasa grade 4 to grade 6 na. Kumbaga, meron na silang active participation in every physical activity, either it is recreational or competitive sports. Pagdating naman dito sa DepEd Sports Manual, for the description for the key stage 2, learning to train stage. Kumbaga, dito na nila mararamdaman ano bang sports talaga ang gusto kong laruin. That is for grade 4 to grade 6. And for the standard, engage in multiple and variety of sports. Pwede nilang subukan lahat ng sports hanggang pagdating nila ng key stage 3, pagdating nila ng high school or secondary level, we have grade 7 to grade 10, the learners demonstrate the understanding of integrating physical activity, behavior in achieving active lifestyle. So dito na inintroduce na in terms of engaging active lifestyle, no? In terms of engaging sports, pwede pala itong gamitin para maging healthy. Dito na ipapaintindi sa mga estudyante na we have to engage sports, we have to engage physical activity, hindi para yung pagiging champion in terms of competition and all the sports event, ano na lang yan bonus na lang yan. Kumbaga, we will encourage students to engage physical activities and sports in order for them to realize that these activities is the key in achieving active lifestyle. Okay? So yun ang parating pinupunto ng PE actually. And then for the DepEd Sports Manual, for the key stage 3, for high school students, ang description na dito is capacity building stage. Focus on sports but still engage in multiple physical activity. Kumbaga, meron na siyang pinofocus na sports, pero naka-engage pa rin siya or pwede pa rin naman siyang maglaro kung anong sports ang gusto pa niyang laruin. Okay. And then, for key stage 4, senior high school, this is grade 11 to grade 12, achieve active lifestyle. Kumbaga, dito na for, I think, nasa 17 to 19 years old yung mga bata dito. At least, na-realize na nila, capable na sila in terms of engaging active lifestyle. Ayan. And for the DepEd Sports Manual, ang description nito is proficiency stage. Kung meron na silang naipiling specific sports nung junior high school sila, dapat pagdating nila sa key stage 4 or senior high school, at least nasa proficient stage na sila. And for the sports club standard, at least to achieve sports. Alam na nila kung ano yung rules and regulation in sports, basic facilities, and basic skills. Ayan, kahit pa paano, meron na silang skills. In senior high school na sila. And again for the DepEd Sports Club standard, hindi po ito for the competitive side. Okay? This is for recreational side in sports. Hindi po magde-develop ng athletes para manalo sa division meet, para manalo sa regional meet or palarong pambansa. Hindi po ganun yung target ng DepEd Sports Club standard or DepEd clubbing, kumbaga, sports club. Ang target po natin dito is ma-encourage pa yung mga bata na mag-engage ng physical activity at pahabaan pa yung oras kung kasi masyadong maikli yung 1 hour. I think 1 hour for 1 week ang PE sa DepEd. Masyadong maikli kaya nag-introduce si DepEd ng supplementary. Kumbaga, kasi masyado na tayong nagkakaroon ng sedentary lifestyle, especially for the children. And this is the framework of PE curriculum actually. So, the knowledge, understanding, and skills underpin the competence, confidence, and commitment required of all students to live an active life for fitness, health, particularly the following standards. Kung nakikita ninyo dyan, no? We have habitual physical activity participation. Kumbaga, from key stage 1, na-inject na sa bata na we have to play, di ba? Naglalaro naman talaga ang bata. So, hayaan sila maglaro. And then, pagdating ng key stage 2, at least active na sila for sports. Ayan. And, of course, competence in movement and motor skills. And, of course, pagdating ng 3, nabavalue na nila or valuing physical activities for enjoyment. Kumbaga, hindi na sila pilit na maglaro. Okay? Hindi na sila, there are some children kasi na simula nung bata, hindi sila exposed sa paglalaro. Kaya pagdating din ng junior high school and senior high school, parang hindi sila open for that, and then more on sedentary lifestyle. So yun po ang binabago ng PE na dapat bata pa lang you have to explore. Sabi nga nila, when you move, kumbaga, sineselebrate mo lang kung ano yung kakayahan ng katawan mo. Kasi our body is designed to move. Yun lang naman. The same with the cellphone or kotse. Kapag bumili tayo ng cellphone or kotse, kahit gaano pa yan kaganda at gaano pa yan kamahal, kapag naka-stock up lang yan sa bahay or sa garahe at hindi yan ginagamit, maluluma and the same time masisira. The same with our body. Meron tayong paa, meron tayong kamay. Bakit hindi tayo sumayaw, magsumba sa bahay? Bakit hindi tayo mag-engage ng tabata? Bakit kung pwede nang maglaro sa labas, if ever matapos na itong pandemic, bakit hindi tayo mag-engage in physical activities? Ayan. Kasi nakadesign ang katawan natin para gumalaw. The same with sa bibig natin, nakadesign para kumain. Ayan. So, bakit pipigilan natin gumalaw? So, and what is the basis of the key standard? Saan ba nakabase yung curriculum? Saan ba nakabase yung PE sa DepEd? Actually, the long-term athletic or athlete development or LTAD model is the framework for an optimal training competition and recovery scheduled for each stage of athletic development. Dito nakaangkla actually yung curriculum ni DepEd. Okay? So, actually, it was originally developed in early 2000 by Dr. Stephen Bailey, an internationally recognized coach, educator, and at that time was based on all the currently available scientific research on how young people develop sporting ability. Kung makikita ninyo sa screen, the first one, baby pa lang, is awareness and the first involvement. And then, active start, fundamentals. Kung nakikita ninyo, the word fundamentals, yun yung ginamit natin na term for the key stage 1. And then, learn to train, key stage 2. Train to train, that is key stage 3. Train to compete, that is key stage 4 actually. And then, dito, ang idea lang kasi ito, right after the train to compete is train to win. And then, kapag retired na tayo or the same time, nasa senior years na tayo, at least meron pa rin tayong active for life. Kung baga active pa rin tayo, in terms of sports pero recreation na lang. So ito yung sinusundan ni DepEd curriculum and DepEd sports standard ng clubbing natin. And here are the unified model in sports clubs in PE. If you observe, sa pinakababa, we have the fundamental stage that is for the club standard. Dito naman sa ating right side, we have the key stage 1 that is for our curriculum. Kumbaga, iisa lang yung tinatakbuhan yan. Kasi nga, supplementary nga yung sports club ng DepEd. And then, learn to train stage for key stage 2. And then, key stage 2 for the physical education curriculum. And then, capacity building stage for the key stage 3. And the sports club standard, we have the proficient stage for the key stage 4. Okay, so hopefully ay may natutunan regarding the key standard and the DepEd curriculum. And actually, kung meron tayong reading literacy, language literacy, ang sinusulong po ng PE ay physical literacy. Kumbaga, movement enhancement. Okay. Kung meron tayong assessment in terms of language literacy, reading literacy, meron din po tayong assessment sa PE. Okay. So actually, when we say assessment, no, it talks about gathering of evidences about students' achievement and making inference about students' progress based on that evidence. So meron tayong, kung kayo ay nagtuturo ngayon, either private or public teachers, meron tayong portfolio ng estudyante, at least doon natin nakikita kung ano ang progress niya. Kung kayo ay English teacher, ito yung sunod-sunod ng progress niya in terms of reading, etc. Tayo naman as PE teacher, at least ang importante, meron tayong record ng bawat estudyante natin kung ano ang level of fitness niya. Yun naman yun. Kasi, kumbaga, physical literacy kasi ang sinusulong natin dito. And aligned with the set of physical education standards and establishment grade level outcomes and is included in the written physical education curriculum along with administration protocol. So evidence-based practices that measure student achievement in all areas of instruction. So simula tayo dito sa kinder. So for kinder kasi, hindi pa siya kasama sa physical fitness test. I know that you are very familiar with the physical fitness test kasi yun yung physical fitness test, yun yung ginagamit natin to measure the fitness level of the students in basic education. Pero for the kinder students, meron po tayong DepEd Order number 47 series of 2016, Omnibus Policy of Kindergarten Education. And in this DepEd order, no? So this DepEd order further provide a comprehensive kindergarten education policy covering the following different components of implementing kindergarten education program. So we have A, curriculum, B, instruction, C, assessment. So dito papasok yung assessment ng kinder. Okay? And in turn, ma'am, paano po yung fitness assessment ng isang kinder na bata? Fitness assessment, hindi po yung ibang subject. So dito po, ayan, ito po yung card ng kinder. Kung meron pong mga elementary teachers dyan, I know that you are very familiar with this card. And then yung naka-yellow, highlight natin, ayan, meron po tayo ditong fine motor domain. Okay, so dito natin, nandito yung mga indicator ng assessment ng isang kinder student in terms of their motor domain. Okay, so katulad nito, number 1, no? Use all 5 fingers to get food, toys, place on flat surface. Kumbaga, since we're talking about fingers, we're talking about fine motor skills since small muscle. So lahat yan ay meron namang i-indicate si teachers dyan. Okay. And then, for grade 1 to grade 3, walang DepEd memo, pero pwedeng mag-initiate, okay? Pwedeng mag-initiate yung principal sa elementary school na gagawa sila ng school-based fitness rubrics. Actually, itong nakuha ko kanina nung grade 1 kinder card, and then ito, I just want to acknowledge the principal of Peace Village Elementary School, Antipolo Division, Miss Grace Santiago. Siya yung nagbigay sa akin, kaklase ko siya sa PUP. Siya yung nagbigay sa akin ng kopya ng fitness assessment nila in terms of yun nga, kinder, grade 1 to grade 3. So ito, yung grade 1 to grade 3, wala siyang DepEd memo or DepEd order, pero initiative po or dapat lang talaga na magkaroon ng fitness assessment rubrics. Kumbaga, ito ay school-based na gawa nila. Ayan. So, and then, pagdating ng grade 4 hanggang senior high school na, or key stage 2, 3, and 4, meron na po tayong DepEd Order number 34, series of 2019, or Revised Physical Fitness Test Manual. So, ito na po yung susundin dyan in terms of assessing the level of fitness of every student and under basic education, no? So, ayan. So, for the physical fitness test, of course, the first one is the body mass index measurement in schools. Meron tayong dapat executive summary, and then appropriate instruction practice guidelines, andyan po yan sa DepEd order. And then system of observing fitness and instruction time, andyan din po yan sa DepEd order. And then appropriate fitness assessment, andyan din po sa DepEd order. And then meron po tayo specific guidelines for specific test or fitness test dyan. For the health-related fitness, for body composition, we have the BMI. Flexibility, we have the zipper test, sit and reach. For the cardiovascular endurance component, we have 3-minute step test. And for the strength, we have push-up and basic plank. And for the skill-related fitness, for speed, we have the 40-meter sprint. For power, we have standing long jump. For agility, we have hexagon agility test. For reaction time, we have stick drop test. Coordination, we have juggling. And for balance, we have stork balance and stand test. However, in the key stage 4 sa senior high school, ang focus lang nila in terms of physical fitness testing ay dito lang sa health-related fitness. Okay? So, for the skill-related fitness, that is for key stage 2 and key stage 3 together with the health-related. Pero ang senior high school, health-related na lang ang mini-measure pagdating nila doon sa, sa taas. Okay. And of course, speaking of assessment, meron din po tayong DepEd Order number 8, series of 2015 or Policy Guidelines on Classroom Assessment for the K-12 Basic Education. So dito, kung kayo po ay isang public school teacher, for the components, makikita po natin yan sa ating class record. No? We have the written work, we have the performance task, and for the quarterly assessment. Ayan, yan yung nakikita natin sa ating class record. Okay, so weight of the components to grade 1 to grade 10. Ayan. So dito for ano? Okay? So we have the ito yung weight percentage ng language, we have the science, math, MAPE. And then makikita nyo po ito sa DepEd Order number 8. And then ito din, for the senior high school, ang PE po ng senior high school ay Health Optimizing Physical Education. And that is under core subject. Ayan po. So 25, 50, 25, written work, performance task, and quarterly exam. And then, since nasa pandemic tayo, okay? So, nilabasan po tayo ng DepEd ng DepEd Order number 31, series of 2020. So, dito po, for the students' assessment in terms of this situation. Kung baga, special po kasi yung situation natin ngayon. So, ito po, ang ano ni DepEd, directive ni DepEd. So, this is the sample computation of for MAPE, okay, grade 1 to grade 10. Ayan po. I know you are very familiar with that. Ayan. And then for the senior high school, ayan po, 40 percent written work and 60% performance. Okay, so I think this is my last slide for my presentation. And basahin ko lang yung nilagay ko na na quotation. In teaching physical education, you are providing training for life. And thank you everyone and God bless po.
Thank you so much, Dr. Gabonilas, for the marvelous and insightful ideas on the key standards that should be taken into account in the field of physical education. And before we proceed, we would like to recognize Ma'am Marivic Tolitol, the Assistant Chief of the School Sports Division of the Department of Education. We will now read some questions from our YouTube Live comment section. You may now type in your questions at our YouTube Live comment section. Thank you. Ma'am Joanna, we have a question here from uh, Thor Melgon Armedilla. He said, "Hello, ma'am, and good afternoon. May we know how hard to teach PE through online?"
Actually, lahat naman talaga tayo nahihirapan. Ay, hi Thor. Estudyante ko yan si Thor. Makulit kong estudyante. Parati yan yung tanong niya sa akin actually. Hanggang ngayon, yan pa rin yung tinatanong niya sa akin. As a teacher, during this time, pandemic, you have to be innovative. Ako kasi, in terms of achieving fitness level and physical literacy, maliban sa nagtuturo ako online sa DepEd, meron akong Monday, Wednesday, and Friday na 3 p.m. home-based exercise for my students. And actually, ina-apply ko siya for action research. Yun nga ang nakakalungkot, ang nakakasali lang ay yung capable lang. Out of 933 students sa Pasay West na grade 11, ang nakakasali lang more or less is 50 students. But still, sa time ng pandemic, you have to do your best. And then maging innovative, maging creative to reach out. Kasi ang pagtuturo kasi hindi naman yan para lang makasahod tayo, kundi to reach out and then to touch the heart of the students. And then, since PE teacher tayo, emphasize natin na sa panahon ngayon, we have to be healthy. And itong pag-engage ng physical activity, isa ito actually, pinaka-the best ito na susi na maging healthy. Maliban sa quality of food, kasi 70% yan, food intake talaga, and then 30% physical activity, pero dapat sabay po yan. Salamat!
Okay, ma'am, we have another question from From Teacher Rich, may program po ba ang DepEd para sa mga teachers din? Kasi lagi kaming nakaupo.
Oh, actually, naka-attend ako ng focus group discussion sa DepEd Central 2019 ata. And then before the pandemic yun, and then napaka-bless ko at isa ako sa napili to attend that focus group discussion na meron silang pinaplano na magkaroon ng ganyan nga na parang focus kung paano aalagaan si teacher, paano papataasin yung health ni teacher. So may mga ganyang plano yan eh. Actually, nagsisimula na nga sila sumali ng government interagency sa sports. Kasama ako doon as a player ng DepEd. Ang target lang naman doon is makasali si teacher for sports and then physical exercise and activity na din. So yun yung target. Siguro kung wala lang pandemic, tutuloy at tutuloy yun. Right after this pandemic, ano na yun, baka tumuloy. Kasi first, ano pala yun eh, first step yun para magkaroon ng DepEd order regarding doon sa mga teachers niya. Hopefully.
Thank you, ma'am. And our next question is from Justin Jonas Bartolome. And the question is, can you suggest ways on how to develop further the skills of the learners in the new normal setup?
In terms of the skills of the learners, kasi unang-una, in terms of physical, puro tayo physical movement, physical literacy. Unang-una, ang una kong ginawa talaga is to communicate with the parents, especially kung natuturo po tayo ng elementary. Ako nga senior high school ang tinuturuan ko, pero meron akong constant communication with the parents, especially in conducting physical fitness test. Kasi andyan lang sila sa bahay eh. Hindi katulad sa school na physical fitness test, andyan ka sa teacher to guide them. So ngayon talaga, ang partner po talaga natin, kahit hindi lang sa PE, lahat po ng subject, partner po talaga natin is parents and guardian. Kasi para mas matuto ang bata at mag-guide ang bata sa tamang landas. Yun po yun talaga, yung sekreto dyan.
So talagang ma'am, this new normal, it really needs the cooperation of the students, the teachers, and the parents, of course, no, to provide a more quality education. Okay, so another question, ma'am, from Alpi Glenn Absin. How can we intensify our sports program or training, especially in this new normal? Any suggestions po, ma'am?
Actually, naka-attend din ako ng, alam ko andito si Ma'am Marvic Tulitol, mas okay kung siya sumagot, pero naka-attend ako ng meeting. Ako ang pina-attend ng aming supervisor dito sa Pasay. Meeting yon regarding palarong pambansa during this pandemic. Magkakaroon tayo, ang alam ko ang alam ko may mga selected event na iraraos yan dito sa during pandemic, meron yan. So in terms of intensifying the training, more or less po talaga utilize or maximize talaga kung anong meron lang talaga sa bahay, and yung training program na specifically na dapat na sa gym, meron po tayong mga innovation na pwedeng gawin sa bahay kasi ang uso kasi ngayon is quarantine eh, bubble, kung meron pang term is bubble training or something. Safety din talaga.
So parang ma'am, no, kailangan talaga yung resourcefulness natin as sports practitioner, talagang kailangan natin siyang ilabas ngayon. This is the right time for us to unleash that. Okay, thank you, ma'am. And we have our next question from Mim Manlapas. What are your teaching strategies to encourage students to participate in PE if the student does not have interest?
Okay. So, before the pandemic, marami po talagang ganyang estudyante actually. Walang interest sa PE based on my experience na 10 taon na nagtuturo, no. Karamihan sa kanila yung nasa section 1. Ayan yung mga yan. So, pag nag-encourage tayo ng bata or nag-motivate ng bata, unang-una, we have to know kung saan yung kiliti nila. Kumbaga, ano ba yung gusto nila? Ano bang point nila? Kasi sa mga Section 1 student ko, ang kiliti lang naman nila is madagdagan sila ng grades eh. So, pag sasali kayo sa intramurals, kahit matalo kayo, kasi nga, hindi naman sa pag-ano, pero based on my experience and observation, yung mga medyo nasa Section 1 or sa DOST student, hindi sila hindi sila sports inclined, pero pag sinabi kong sige, additional points, sali kayo sa intramurals, kahit participants lang kayo, andyan yung mga yan. Kumbaga, kikilalanin natin yung mga estudyante natin na mabuti. Saan ba yung route nila? Kumbaga, tatagos tayo doon sa kanila. Para alam din natin kung paano sila i-handle, paano sila i-motivate, at ano ang iiwasan natin. Baka ma-discourage din sila sa atin as teacher or sa subject natin. Kasi minsan sensitive din yung mga yan eh. Especially kung nasa teenager years yung mga estudyante.
Okay, ma'am. Tapos, for our next question po, can we adjust our assessments considering our present situation?
In terms of assessment, yung DepEd order kasi natin, standard yan eh. Siguro depende na lang din yun sa internal arrangement with you kung kayo po ay public school teacher, kung ano po yung instruction ng inyong MAPE supervisor regarding that assessment. Kasi ang alam ko meron naman yung collaborative yan eh. Kumbaga meron naman yung lock session parate. Nag-uusap yung mga teachers kung ano ang gagawin para uniform yung instruction nila sa bata. Pero I think naman during this time, i-consider naman na talagang may adjustment tayo. Pero kung si DepEd ang magbibigay ng another memo for adjustment regarding physical fitness, mukhang hindi yan mangyayari kasi naka-DepEd na yan memo. Tayo po ang mag-a-adjust. Depende po sa pangangailangan po ng ating mga bata at strength at weakness din po nila, ng kapasidad nila.
Thank you, ma'am. So, our next question po is from Richie J. Atilano. Hi, ma'am. Good afternoon. May I ask you po if do we have alternative activities from DepEd for students who can participate in some physical activities due to their cultural or religious background?
Meron po tayong differentiated instruction na tinatawag. Okay, I know that kung kayo po ay DepEd teacher, I know that you are very aware or familiar with the differentiated instruction, wherein kung meron tayong factors na in terms of cultural background or something, of course, ang una ko kasing ginagawa dyan is to talk to the parents kung ano lang yung pwede niyang gawin. And then, in terms of exercises naman, meron naman tayong regression, progression exercise, as long as ang learning competency or ang tinatawag nating MELCs or most learning competency ngayon or learning competency na makikita natin sa curriculum guide ng PE, ng curriculum ng DepEd ay na-achieve naman natin. Pasok pa rin po yun. Kasi standard-based tayo tsaka competency-based po tayo sa curriculum kahit anong content po pwede.
Thank you, ma'am. So, and for our next question po from Sir John Paul Encarnacion, in your way, ma'am, how do you conduct a sports class and how did you create a criteria or rubric for grading their performance in this new normal setup or online classes?
Okay. So, yun nga po yung nasabi ko po, no, meron po akong supplementary activities for my grade 11 students, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Every 3 p.m. meron po kaming home-based exercise. And nagkaroon kami ng pre-assessment ng physical fitness before the semester or before the school year or before nag-start ng lesson. And then, before matapos itong school year, magkakaroon din po kami ng post-test physical fitness. Then titingnan po kung may pagbabago po doon sa level of fitness ng bata. Kasi sa ngayon, yun lang po ang tanging magagawa natin. And in terms of senior high school students, meron naman sa learning competency nila na kaya na nilang gumawa ng sarili nilang exercise design with their family. So, pwede din po yun. Pero kung ang handle po natin ay elementary, high school, maybe grade 7, more or less po, communicate talaga with the parents. And then, try to ask din kung assess din kung ano yung space nila sa bahay, ano lang yung kayang gawin. So yun yung mga factors. And in terms of the assessment, balik po tayo sa physical fitness test po na ng DepEd order po.
Okay, ma'am. So for our next question, these questions are interrelated, ma'am. The first question is from Sir Jeric Vlog. How do you make sure that students still engage in physical education through online? And in relation from Mr. Louis Baloto, good afternoon po ma'am. If the students do not have the equipment needed in the physical fitness test, how sure are we if the results of the students are accurate and true since most of the activities are asynchronously done?
Actually, napakalaking challenge talaga sa ating mga teachers ngayon. Kasi ano na lang, hindi nga natin alam sa totoo lang sa pangyayari dito sa DepEd. O kahit sa ibang school, hindi nga natin alam kung sila ba talaga yung nagsasagot ng module in terms of academic subject. Let's face the reality. Kung kukumustahin rin natin si bata, hindi rin natin alam kung yung pangungumusta natin sa kanila ay nakadagdag ng stress sa kanila yun. Pwede din yun. You have to consider that. So in terms naman kung how sure ako na accurate yung unang-una, ngayon po talaga, wala po talagang sure. Pero in terms of physical activity po, in terms of home-based exercise, pili po yung mga estudyante kung sumasali, yung may gadget lang po, yung may wifi, at pwede mag-open ng camera, sabay-sabay po kami nag-exercise. So sure akong gumagalaw sila sa bahay. And in terms of conducting physical fitness test, kinukontak ko yung mga magulang nila to assess them in physical fitness test. At may video sila habang nagkakandak. Yung ibang nasa remote po talaga, unfortunately po, nare-reach out ko through text and call. Kung wala talagang cellphone, sa module lang po talaga kami nag-uusap. Kasi sa module, kasi at least meron siyang self-learning module kasi ang tawag diyan, at least meron siyang instruction paano siya gawin. Ang na lang kasi ngayon kung sino na lang talaga yung nakakapagpasa ng module, yun na lang talaga. Pero yung mga bata na nag-e-effort talaga na gustong mag-exercise, yun ang na-appreciate ko. At blessed din sila, parati kong sinasabi na blessed sila kasi kahit nasa public school sila, may kakayahan silang sumali since may wifi, may gadget, my phone, and then kaya mag-open ng cam habang nag-exercise kami. Sabay-sabay kami nag-exercise.
Thank you, ma'am, for your answer. And another question, ma'am, from Paul Jason. Good afternoon po. What are the strategies to assess students' learning, especially in senior high school, hope, dance, and sports during this time of pandemic?
In terms of strategy of assessment ba yan, sir? Or teaching?
I think, ma'am, sa assessment po. How
Okay.
strategies to assess the students' learning?
Sa amin kasi, in my case kasi, meron akong 2 sets of rubrics. Since performance talaga yung PE, hindi naman bago yung rubrics. 2 sets of rubrics ang meron ako kapag nahati kasi yung bata ngayon online tsaka modular. So kapag online yung mga estudyante, ito yung rubrics na binibigay ko sa kanila. Kapag modular yung estudyante, since hindi naman natin yan mapipilit kasi yun yung kakayahan ng estudyante, meron din akong rubrics na binibigay. Kumbaga, ang binibigay ko kahit papaano is that yung online na kayang mag-video, okay, kaya mag-video, magpasa sa Google Classroom, bibigay ako niyan, level of intensity, ganito yung percentage. Kasi nakikita ko nagpapasa sila ng video eh. And dito naman sa talaga, yung remote talaga, yung sa module lang talaga, description kung ano ang ginawa nila in terms of physical activity. I-describe nila kung ano ang kung paano nila ginawa yung physical activity. Kung yung kaya naman na magdikit ng picture habang nagpi-picture siya or kaya namang picturean yung sarili or magpa-picture sa kasama sa bahay habang ginagawa yung physical activity, didikit niya sa module, pasa niya sa school. So kumbaga, lahat talaga tayo nag-a-adjust kasi kailangan kasi walang ma-left behind na bata eh. Kasi hindi naman nila kasalanan kung wala silang kakayahan sa online.
Okay po, ma'am. So thank you po. And for our last question, ma'am, what is your advice to the PE teachers who are experiencing difficulty in teaching this pandemic? And siguro, ma'am, sa mga future PE teachers na rin, since karamihan sa mga audience natin ngayon ay students, yun po, mga tips and advice.
For the current PE teachers na in teaching na PE during this pandemic, ano lang po, kapit lang po mga kapatid at matatapos lang din po ito. At sana wag nating bitawan na yung ating objective po is to encourage students to be healthy and to be fit. Sabi ko nga, itong PE subject na ito yung pinaka-suited talaga na dapat ma-emphasize during this pandemic kasi dito tinuturo at ini-encourage yung mga bata ang kalagahan ng pagiging fit at kalagahan ng pagiging healthy kasi dito ma-realize ng mga bata kung gaano kaganda mabuhay at kailangan mabuhay ng mas mahaba nang walang masyadong nararamdamang sakit at may enjoy natin. For the future educators naman sa PE, mag-ayos-ayos na kayo sa pag-aaral. Hindi, joke lang. Focus lang kayo sa goal. Kailangan kasi na full pack kayo right after ninyong graduate. Kailangan competitive kayo right after ninyong graduate. At alam niyo kung ano yung path na patutunguhan ninyo. Either industry, kasi alam ko maraming pwedeng path na patutunguhan yung mga kumukuha ng PE industry, academic, and then may sports science din ata kayo, di ba, JJ?
Yes
sa
po, ma'am.
FEU? Oo.
We offer sports science din po.
Meron din. So, kumbaga, ngayon, mag-charge muna kayo sa mga sarili ninyo kasi sabi ko nga, may mga pinapaaral ako ngayon na dati kong estudyante na hindi ko naman sila kaano-ano. Sabi ko nga, aral lang kayo ng aral, mag-charge muna kayo kasi haharapin ninyo yung totoong buhay after graduation. Oo, yun yung parati kong sinasabi. Kasi may mga rin naman na hindi tutuloy sa pagiging teacher. So kung anong destiny, pero pag naging teacher ka, kailangan mahalin at yakapin mo yung trabaho mo na yan. Kasi walang masyadong pera dyan, pero ang balik naman sa'yo is yung may babalik sa estudyante na successful na. Kumbaga, sobra-sobra pa yun sa investment na binigay mo.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for that inspiring advice. I'm sure me and my fellow students who are watching right now, mas na-motivate and na-inspire kami. And mas nabigyan kami ng clear path kung ano bang dapat namin gawin as of the moment. So at this point, we would like to thank everyone who posted their questions on the YouTube Live chat box. Your intention to contribute to the discussion is very much appreciated. At this point, may I now call on Ms. Maria John Aliza A. Abutas to award the Certificate of Appreciation to our speaker.
Please allow me to read the Certificate of Appreciation is awarded to Dr. Joanna Marie Carina Gabonilas for her valuable contribution as speaker in the webinar on Physical Education Key Standards and Assessments by the Department of Education. Given this 20th day of April 2021 at Far Eastern University, Manila, signed by Dr. Jason F. Cruz, Course Facilitator in Administration and Management of Physical Education and Health Education Program, and Mr. Joseph R. Hintalan, Department Chair, Undergraduate Studies, Institute of Education. So once again, thank you and congratulations, Dr. Joanna Marie Carina Gabonilas, for sharing your outstanding contribution in this webinar.
Thank you, Ms. Lisa, for awarding the certificate. And as the webinar is soon ending, may I call on Ms. Samantha Nicole Pedral for the closing remarks.
Good afternoon, everyone. First and foremost, on behalf of the second-year DepEd students under Administration and Management of Physical Education and Health Education Program, we would like to express our deep appreciation to our guest speaker, Dr. Joanna Marie Carinas Gabonilas, for sharing knowledge about the key standard and assessment of physical education, and for giving us her time amidst her busy schedule. Our gratitude also goes to the participants who attended, listened, and actively participated, helping this webinar become successful. It is clear how physical education is essential to every individual, especially to the children whose lifestyle is sedentary, in which the top three common unhealthy lifestyle behavior that may result to early death are lack of physical exercise, frequent sitting, and improper nutrition. By this, the Department of Education create a curriculum and standard that ensures the children will have a healthy lifestyle. Dr. Joanne said, in teaching physical education, you are providing training for life. I hope that what you have learned in this webinar will help you a lot as an educator or as a future educator. To end this webinar, on behalf of the second year BP Ed students under Administration and Management of Physical Education and Health Education programs, we would like to thank everyone for the successful webinar this afternoon. Once again, congratulations and thank you everyone for being here with us in our webinar, Physical Education, Key Standard and Assessment in the Department of Education.
Thank you, Ms. Samantha. And now, to give our final announcements, may I call on Dr. Jason F. Cruz, Course Facilitator of Administration and Management of Physical Education and Health Education Programs.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. I would like to finally announce our final announcement for this webinar. The evaluation link will be posted at the YouTube Live comment section near at the end of the program. Evaluation link will be open until 4:30 p.m. only today, April 28th. Okay, so may I please say that the evaluation link is not open until 1 week, until 2 weeks. It's only until 4:30 p.m. because in the previous webinar, participants are asking even after 3 days, even after 4 days of the link. So please be reminded that the link is only open until 4:30 today of April 28, 2021. Carefully check the spelling of your name as it will appear in your certificate. Please be informed that the name that will appear in your certificate is auto-generated from what you have entered in the link. Okay. So I would like to make it clear that it's not mano-mano in preparing the certificate. That's why we are announcing that be careful in answering the link, especially when it comes to your name, and then putting input also in your um, um, what's that, your email address, because we will be using that email address to send you your certificate. So definitely, if the email address that you will input is wrong, so we cannot send you, okay? So the organizers will not replace certificate with wrong spelling of name. Also double check your email as what I have mentioned, as it will be used in sending your certificate. Please try to understand also our dear participants that the organizers are also students. They are busy in doing a lot of online activities. That's why we came up this kind of ruling in our webinar. I hope you understand, and God bless you all, and thank you for attending our webinar today.
Thank you very much, Dr. Cruz. And this YouTube channel, Tech Teacher Rich Technology Tips for Teachers, Parents, and Kids, your teacher technology channel. Please subscribe and ring the notification bell so you can be notified of upcoming live events such as ours. In this YouTube channel, we will be posting our upcoming webinars. Our upcoming webinar for next week, May 5, 2021, is Enhancing the Importance of Physical Activity Amidst the COVID Pandemic. Again, thank you for joining our webinar. I am JJ Berinya, your MC, signing off.
Mira